dear listeners, and welcome to our program, A Story in an Artwork. Today, we will talk about a sad but a very telling story that became known through a Kabyle song chanted from one generation to another, one known when sung in Algerian dialect by the singer Akli Yahyate. The song Yal Menfi, Arabic for The Exiled, is today's story.
أقول لأمي ما تبكيش ولدك ربي ما يخليش أقول لأمي ما تبكيش ولدك ربي ما يخليش
Who is the exiled, mentioned in the song, telling us all the details of his departure and the grief he went through by leaving his homeland and willingly to an unknown destination. Let's travel backward together and discover the story of Yal Menfi The Exiled.
أو قالوا لي كشي دخان أنا في وسطهم دهشان قولوا لأمي ما تبكيش يا المنفي ولدك ربي ما يخليش يا المنفي.
The song Yal Menfi, or The Exiled, was written by one of those exiled from Algeria by the French colonization authorities in the 19th century. The songwriter is unknown, but he made the suffering of all those deported from their homeland very well known. The song starts like this, quote, "Tell my mother not to cry about me. I am the exiled. Tell her that God will take care of her son," unquote. The exiled were among the people who participated in the Mokrani revolt in the 1870s during the French colonization of Algeria. The Mokrani revolt was led by Mohammed al-Mokrani and Sheikh Haddad and was recognized as the greatest and one of the most heroic revolts in modern history, as all forms of courage manifested in the face of the colonizer. After a while, however, the Mokrani resistance started to recede in the face of the ferocity of the French colonizer, who decided to punish the revolutionaries through exile. The French administration expelled more than 2,000 people to the other side of the world. Yes, that's how New Caledonia, the island that was also occupied by France, was described by Algerians back then. The other side of the world, given the 22,000 kilometers separating Algeria and New Caledonia. Those exiled were sent to labor camps on the Pacific archipelago. The hardship of exile started in 1873 and continued until the following century.
على الدخلة حطوا لي الراس عطوا لي زوروا بيان أو البريف عليا عساس على المنية تسمع السلام.
The song Yal Menfi talks about the suffering of the exiled people, starting from the colonizer's court to prison to the ship arriving on the other side of the world. Quote, "When they took me to court, I saw many soldiers. The chain they tied me to was so heavy, and I was sentenced to a year and a day." Unquote. The trip to New Caledonia begins from the port of Algiers, going through paths such as the Cape of Good Hope and the Suez Canal, until reaching the Pacific island. In every sense of the word, the journey is a one of suffering, hunger, cold, and alienation. Many of those exiled find death on the route and get thrown into the sea. The songwriter even depicts the food he is given by soldiers and the way he was forcing himself to eat it to survive. Quote, "My heart, please don't be disgusted. The soup is always the same and will not change, full of water and cockroach swim in it." Unquote.
يا قلبي وشتك تعيش او الصوفة دايما يبكي يا قلبي.
When he tries to reassure his mother, the exiled is also reassuring his country, for the mother also symbolizes the homeland. He has the spirit of someone who did all what he could for his homeland, and exile is just a physical distance that cannot erase the strong bond he shares with Algeria, since the real home is where the heart is.
الصبر يمي ما تبكي